Good morning and welcome to Library Scented Life. If you're new here, my name is Sydney. Thank you so much for coming to my channel and let's get right into it. So today we are in a different spot because I'm going to be doing the books and makeup tag, but a spooky edition. So I do a lot of special effects kind of makeup for fun in October. I'm not very good at it, but I just find it kind of cool and interesting to do. So I figured I would film one and combine it with the books and makeup tag and kind of make it my own with the extra additions to my normal everyday makeup. Now I wasn't tagged by anyone and these questions are going to be different for everyone if you're doing some kind of special effects or Halloween makeup. So you can totally do this tag, make it your own rendition of it. And then one more thing before I start, originally this look was going to be very different, a very different look. But recent booktube events have inspired this makeup look for the day. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first I always put on this weird headband. It's actually from my Halloween costume last year, which was, you know that Muppet song, the Mana do 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 do, that one? That's what I was last year with my best friend, and this says Mana, and then hers said Mana, and we were Mana. So the first question is for primer. I always use sunscreen, and then sometimes I'll use this Nivea Men Aftershave as a primer. It actually works really well. I remember, I think it was like Nikki Tutorials, one of those beauty gurus who came up with this idea, and it has the same ingredients as normal primers, and it's only like $4 for this giant bottle, so that's great. Today I'm just going to use the sunscreen though. Okay, so the question for this one is, pick a book that left a lasting impression. So for primer, I actually chose To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. It's just a very classic book and it got me thinking, and it was some serious stuff to talk about in high school and it just stuck with me. I really liked the characters and the perspectives and the different things that we look at in that book, so I found that last a lasting impression for sure, and I've been meaning to reread it this year, so that's definitely going to happen before 2019. So the next question is for foundation, and that is, pick your favorite first book in a series. So this one I really had to go with a classic first book in a series, because even just looking at it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and that is of course Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I love this series, as most people do. It's just a nice little fall back to school, and it's like magic and spooky. It's just a perfect October read, and it sets up the series very well as to what it is, and I find I bond really easily to the relationships in this book right away. So the characters, like, you don't need to get to know them to really enjoy the story, as I find with most middle grade series about friendships. Yeah, so that is probably my favorite first book in a series, and now I have to do my foundation. It's really hard to talk and do this at the same time. Like, I keep wanting to just hold the book up and talk and then do it, but I'm going to try to do it at the same time or else it's going to be a really long video. So next is concealer, and that is pick a character you wish you could get rid of. So I was thinking about this question a lot because I find in books it's really rare to find a character that's not necessary to the plot, or, you know what I mean? Like, unless the book has been edited very badly, like, the characters are usually necessary to make stuff happen. So it was a really hard question, and I came up with one guy who, he is necessary to the plot, but I still really hate him and he's gross and creepy, and that is Harold Lauder from The Stand by Stephen King. He's honestly like the creepiest, like, I'm a nice guy character. So if you haven't read The Stand, it's about a sickness that kills, like, I think it's 95% of the population or something, and there's like a couple people left, and they're all, it's following these people that are left, and as they're trying to meet each other somewhere to make like a community of the last people alive. So one of these characters is Harold Lauder, and he's in this like town, this country-ish town, and someone else in that town is also alive, and that's like, I think she's like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. I don't really remember. I read this a while ago. She's like a 17-year-old girl, and he's about the same age, and he's always had a crush on her, so he uses this as like, I'm gonna save you, and then you have to love me. And then they come across like another guy at one point, and she starts talking to him, and he gets all pissed, and he's like, I don't want to talk to this guy ever again, like, we need to leave. But like, it's the only other person they found for like months, because everyone else is dead, but he feels threatened, so like, no, we don't want this person, we just want to stay us two so that I can own you forever. Like, he's just really creepy. I don't like him. And I don't think anyone likes him, so that's kind of his point. And although he is important to the plot, I still don't want him here, so he can just leave. Like, yeah, so Harold Lauder. So the next question's for powder, but I'm gonna do my eyebrows first because I use concealer to like not block out, I don't know what the proper term is. I'm not a makeup artist, guys. I use concealer like around my eyebrows to shape them, so I'm gonna do my powder last anyways. So I'm going to go right to eyebrows. So it is a book you think everyone should read, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. If you watched any of my videos where I'm talking about this book, you know that's what I was gonna answer. Yeah, that book is amazing, and I feel like so many different people from different reading tastes and groups would enjoy it a lot, and it's actually amazing. It's also really important as it touches on subjects in a fantasy world that could be brought over to subjects that are actually happening in the world. So it's really important in that aspect, and I feel like it would start a conversation. That was another pick for the books that left the lasting impression, because it really truly did. My eyebrows take longer than answering that question will, so I will be right back with eyebrows. Okay, so the eyebrows are done. They're not great, but we're gonna work with it. So the next question is for powder. So pick your favorite last book of a series. Obviously, it is The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. That is the last book in the Lord of the Rings series. What is this question for? It's for powder. I'm so sorry. That's my favorite last book in a series. I feel like it just closes everything off so well, and it's just such a great story overall. Now, you might be wondering, like, wasn't this the spooky books and makeup tag? Like, it is, I promise. Don't worry. We're getting there. So the next question is eyeshadow. Pick a book that has your favorite colors. So I picked Tin Man by Sarah Winman. This book is so pretty. Like, it's gold and turquoise. I think turquoise is my favorite color, and like gold not so much, but on this it just looks so nice. But yeah, this book is actually really good too. It's really short and it's a nice quick little read. Yeah, breaks your heart and warms it all at once. That's accurate. So I'm gonna go for like an orangey look. I don't know. I'm just gonna put random colors on and see what happens. Am I supposed to be showing the products I'm using? Like, I didn't know that. I don't know if that's part of it. Now the next step is an eyeliner pencil you never use. And the question for this that I came up with is, I think, a book that you've been meaning to read and still haven't read. And for that, I'm gonna go with The Hate U Give. I don't know why I haven't picked this up yet. I feel really guilty about it. It's on my TBR and I still haven't even bought it. So yeah. So with the eyeliner pencil you never use, you just want to cut a triangle into your face. You know, just like a casual triangle. I'm thinking I'm gonna make myself like a new jawline, because like that's my life, you know? Actually, we're not gonna do a triangle. We're gonna do like, we're doing a different angle. So the next question is eyeliner. So eyeliner, a dark and mysterious book. For that, I chose The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. So this book is about a girl who gets lost in a forest and she's just trying to survive, and she's like 9 years old or something. And it's really creepy because you don't know if she's seeing things in the forest because she's a scared little 9-year-old in the forest, or there's actually some weird stuff going on. So it's really mysterious in that way, and it's like dark because the things she's seeing are like really creepy. She thinks there's like this guardian of the forest coming to get her. So the next step is toilet paper. So for toilet paper, I chose a book that you think is terrible and you wanted to throw in the toilet. One of my ideas for it is God's Behaving Badly was really bad, and I don't know if you saw my video talking about that, but it was a really, really bad book that was like rape culture-y and just not great. And then another one is kind of controversial, and I feel like a bad booktuber to say this, but Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I really enjoyed the first part of the book, but then right after they got married, it was like reading erotica, and I wasn't expecting that. And that's not the only reason why. Like, I'm fine reading like sex scenes and stuff, but also the end of the book where someone has PTSD and the way they deal with it is like messed up, and it's not just like, oh, it's the olden days, like that's how they deal with it. No, like it was like messed up. So I hate that book. But yes, so that is my question for toilet paper, in case you use toilet paper in your everyday makeup routine like I do. It's Canadian Thanksgiving tomorrow, so I'm gonna spend it with my family, and I'm thinking I'm gonna do this look for them just because, you know, like It's a great Thanksgiving look, and I think you guys should try it out, especially in the States where you haven't had your Thanksgiving yet. Like in November, pull this look out. It's a great one. And I'm gonna layer this like crazy. Kind of like, so it looks almost like someone could take a slice out of your face, because your makeup's caked on. Alright, so the toilet paper is layered. I just layered it with liquid latex. So the next step is more foundation. Oh, the foundation question was pick your favorite book in a series, or your favorite first book in a series. So I already said Harry Potter, so like for this one, I guess I'll say Children of Blood and Bone is technically a series, so maybe I'll choose that. So yeah, I'm just gonna foundation my new skin. And it's really absorbent, so I'm using this like cheap foundation that I don't use anymore. So you should never use foundation after your powder, because it'll look cakey. But maybe that's the look we're going for today. So that is my new skin. I hope you love it. So we never did mascara, so I will do the mascara question right now. So the mascara question is just a really long book. For this, it's like Stephen King books, honestly. Needful Things by Stephen King, which is like 700 pages. And then number 7 in the Dark Tower series is like, I think it's almost 1,000 pages. And then same with like The Stand and the 4th book in the Dark Tower series. Just any Stephen King basically are mostly the long books I read. And I find with Stephen King books, like the last 200 pages are always the best. Or like the last third of his book, and the rest of it is just building up to it. And you can almost get bored halfway through waiting for it, and you need to figure out like if it's worth it for the last 200 pages. And then those last 200 pages always up the rating because they're just so good. I feel like I'm so like sassy in this video. I'm not meaning to be, honestly, like for most of it. Like some of it, yes. But because this is a more casual setting, I'm not in like that high energy place of like extra happiness of the 20-somethings that make videos for BookTube, you know? So the next question is for blush. So I'm not going to put blush on this side just because, you know, I feel like that should just stay like that right now. So blush is a cringy couple, I believe. Yeah, a cringeworthy romance. There's a series called the Earth's Children series, and it has like, it's about cave people. And I'm not going to have any spoilers, but there's a couple, Ayla and Jondalar, and that whole book, the second book, they're spending needing each other, and she is exploring like her sexual desires, and then she's attracted to a horse, and then she's just really confused about what sex is, and then we're following his story on the other side, and we're finding out like he's like in the cave people culture, like when he goes there he always takes like a couple girls' virginities. He's like, yeah, I introduce people to sex, and then they meet and it's just like they're two, like, I don't know. It's just a really cringy romance and I don't like it, and they invent everything in that book. Like they invent how to make fire with flint, they invent bows and arrows, and it's like these two people, mostly this one person, who's just inventing everything. And this series is just really weird. And after reading the second book with like that scene where she's like, she's attracted sexually to like horses having sex, yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue with that series, but yes, that is my cringeworthy couple. So the question for highlighter is a book that brightened your day. For this one, I chose A Little Princess, just because it's so, like, everything ends so perfectly for her, and it's like there's no sad ending at all for anyone. It's just like a delightful little ending that's unrealistic and fantastic to read about if you're feeling sad. So yeah, that is a book that definitely brightened my day. Like the beginning part is sad, but you know it's all gonna end up great for her, so it's fine. So now my foundation on this side is dry. So I'm going to go at it with some scissors. So I can't find the mini scissors I usually use for this, so like don't do this at home. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna cut the toilet paper skin and kind of like tear it up a little bit so that it's a bit more... Does this look like I'm cutting my skin? Probably not. Like, it's not that great. But I just need to, like, make it look a bit more rough and, like, gross. My everyday makeup goals. So next I'm going to go in with red face paint. So my question for face paint is a character that you like how they dress, like their style as much as it's described. And I guess my answer to this would be, I really like like the most prominent style I can think of in a character is Blue from the Raven Cycle. She has like this really like punk style that I used to be all about. Okay, so I filled in the eyeshadow. Yeah, so like I said, this is an everyday look. I've also added some bruises, you know, everyday cake face. So the next step in this everyday look is a lipstick. I guess I'm just gonna go with a classic red for lips. And the question is your favorite book kiss. So my favorite book kiss is from The Tiger's Daughter, Shizuka and Shefali. They are a really cute couple, and I really enjoyed their romance in this book, and their kisses were like, you could tell they were meant to be together, so their kisses felt like that, and it was just really great. I really can't talk when I do this one. Okay, so that is my lipstick. I think it goes really well with the red base of the slice out of my face. So there's one step left, and that is blood. You need blood when people take a slice out of your cake face, so that is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some blood, and my question for blood is just basically a gory book that I've read. So I read a lot of horror books, as you saw from all the Stephen King books I was mentioning earlier. So a gory book that I read recently was actually Horns by Joe Hill. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be as gory as it was, especially there was this one scene near the end that I actually had to close the book for a little bit because I was on the bus and I was already feeling kind of nauseous, and then it made it worse. So I did have to stop reading that one for a little bit, but I did enjoy the goriness element. So now I'm just going to go in with a different sponge to make it look like the blood is splattered. A question for bruising, because I wasn't sure like what question to do, like lasting impression or I guess bruises fade. So the question could be like a book that you thought you loved but now you hate. I guess for that I would go with The Fault in Our Stars. Like, I don't hate it now, but I don't like it as much as I did. I read it in high school and it made me cry, and then I reread it and I was just like, their love isn't that great because one of them's kind of an asshole. So I'm calling this look Slice of Cake Face, and I think it's really nice to wear to family events and to see old friends just so they know who you are now as a booktuber. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and if you want to, leave a comment down below letting me know whether you want to try this look. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so excited to see you in my next video. Bye!